Last night, as Michigan State was down 8 points in the second half to Iowa, we have a full recap of this on the channel as Michigan State clinched an outright Big Ten title. You can go watch that now. It's like an hour and a half long. But the moment occurred, Cart. Tre Holloman pressed a button and went insane. And all of a sudden, Michigan State went on a 31-6 run after Holloman antagonized Brock Harding and everyone in Carver Hawkeye Arena. It was very memorable. This is not the first time we've seen Tre Holloman kind of step up in a moment and have a I'm standing on business moment. Remember, he looked up at Zach Edey last year and wanted the smoke. So I know this warmed your heart, Jigon, as you call him, with a legacy moment for Michigan State. But can we talk through what happened here? What happened here with Tre Holloman losing his mind on Iowa?
Look, I think there was a lot of frustration built up how the game was going. I think honestly that was a major portion of it. The build up with like the fact that they have a chance to win an outright title, and basically Iowa has brought that shit to their doorstep for 30 straight minutes, and Tre Holloman said enough. He said enough, and like he said, he's a bear who strolled into a yard, and it happened to be Brock Harding's backyard. And he may or may not have left the fence open to let Jigathon into that backyard, but once he got in there, he was going to go at whoever was in front of him. And I didn't see Brock Harding say anything to him, so I'm assuming he didn't. Maybe he did. I don't know. But at that moment, I think Tre Holloman was like, "We need to pick this shit up, and I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it by doing this." I honestly thought he was trying to earn a tech. Should have got one. Um, but he was like, it's time for me to turn this up a bit and wake my team up, and that's exactly what he did.
Can I get a translation of what he said?
I mean, it's words I can't say on here. We have been getting ridiculed for our language as of late.
Who's been ridiculing us for language?
I see random comments and things like that where like you shouldn't use that language.
Well, it's our show.
So like I can say it.
I think so. Well,
Yeah, nah, you get nope, there's a go. He said, fuck you talking about
okay,
pussy.
okay. Man, we could have like danced around the back end of
Oh,
that.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but you love that.
You know I love that.
Did you ever have
That's
a moment like this as a player?
every month. What? Last
Every
month?
moment.
Last Monday in men's league.
You've hit that exact sentence before on the basketball court?
Dog, I literally catch my local IT salesman across from me who was just like me, and I'm like, yeah, I do that all the time.
So what did Iowa do wrong here? Set a
Showed up,
screen.
showed up. What's the phrase? Don't get on the track when the train's coming.
The train was coming.
It was coming. They tried to be cute, I think. Not even tried to be cute, but it's like the gate was closing on the train tracks, you know what I'm saying? We were coming, and they thought they could get by and get under the and like not have to wait for the train to go by. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, Brock Hardy got stuck on the tracks.
got it. Brock Harding, who, by the way, I think Fran has basically given up on after this moment. Did you see how little he played in this game?
No, I didn't. I didn't
Brock
even know.
Harding played 13 minutes total off the bench. It was a season low for him since he played 10 at Wisconsin, second lowest of the season.
Hmm. I mean, that's just
Like
that's.
if you're Fran McCaffrey, you watch that happen, aren't you just like go home?
I need somebody to let me know. Like, did I miss it? Did Brock Harding say anything during the whole game? Was it earlier? Like, was there any moment?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think Trey's just competitively scary. That's awesome. But uh where does this like I mean, isn't Jig your favorite player? Is that fair to say?
I mean, I'm with Jig.
You're a Jace guy, but you're with Jig.
Yeah, like I am 100% embodiment of what Jigathon stands for.
Jigathon and Jace Richardson are both dangling off a cliff, and you can only save one.
I say Jig because I would honestly not be able to live comfortably even knowing that I feel like Jig would come back and kill me from the dead.
Well, the thing I was going to say is if you save Jace, Jig would probably find a way to survive.
Yeah, like as he's falling, he's just like staring up. He's not screaming, he's not scared, he's not anything. He's just staring at me as he falls, like I'm coming back.
But
And
then
I'm just
maybe he would come back and understand that you needed to save Jace to help him.
and he goes like, "Yup, locked in." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yup."
right. It could happen. All right. Well, 31 to 6 run. If this moment doesn't happen, does that run happen still?
Honestly, I think it does.
So you didn't need the theatrics of Jig in order to get there. It was just the cherry on top of the sundae.
Yeah, you didn't necessarily need it, but you also always need it.
You want it.
Yeah, you want it because like even if you don't want it, like me personally, I feel like I could really resonate with this because I was a absolute shit talker at all times when areas where I shouldn't even have been a shit talker. Like that should not have been what I did. But it always got me turned up when my teammates would do it as well. Like if Z Hurth came up and banged a three and started talking trash, I was talking trash. I was playing harder once he started talking shit. That was part of it. Not saying I wasn't before, but I'm saying like there is certain elements to feeding off the energy. I think the phrase is like don't turn me up. Like don't turn me up, don't poke the bear because we're about to get going. Whether
There
you
was a
poke it
moment
or
that the broadcast caught, I think before this actually happened, where they were coming out of a timeout, also down like 10 or 8 or something. And Trey went one by one to Jace, to Jaden, to I think Fiddler was on the court at that point, and whoever the center was. And you could literally see him again read his lips, but he went one by one to these guys and was like, man, F these dudes. Dap. Man, come on. F these dudes. Dap. Like just one by one. I don't know what exactly it was. Maybe he just knew Michigan State needed like a kick in the ass to get going, but he came out on some vendetta shit. And ultimately, I do think it played a huge role in the comeback card.
it definitely did. I mean, you and it also just embodies kind of to what goes on with this team. You know what I'm saying? Like they this didn't just happen and there wasn't a run made. This team is a bunch of psychotic people. You pointed out earlier in the year. I think Jeremy Fears like was got some free throws or someone missed a free throw early in the season. They were down like 8 at home to Illinois and Fears is like clapping like a madman. This team is just full of crazy people who have like some chirp and shit to them. Jace Richardson was chirping like no other at Maryland.
Yeah.
It's just what this team is about.
Who are the top 5 college basketball current? You don't want to mess with that guy, guys. Holland's got to be on the list, but is he number one? I feel like I know who you're going to say number one is, and it's not Trey Holloman.
Honestly, it's Cooper Flag.
I was going to say that feels like your correct answer, and I think my correct answer.
Yeah, it's still Coop. The
I think it
next,
would be Coop and then almost the entire Auburn team, and then Trey Holloman.
I'm monitoring Auburn right now.
Really?
They got that shit brought to their doorstep.
You don't think Trey Holloman is basically just an Auburn player mentally? I kind of see him just literally as like an Auburn guy.
I could see that. I'm not. I think Auburn players should be on this list. You don't think Auburn got a little bit of like front runnery stuff to them?
I guess that it's a fair distinction from you. Like Trey Holloman was doing this while trailing.
Yeah,
I don't know that Auburn would do that while
yeah,
trailing.
yeah. Like we saw them trailing at home to Auburn, and their body language was terrible. I'm sorry
Yeah.
to Florida. Their body language was terrible. They got whooped against Texas A&M, and their body language was terrible.
It's a fair distinction. I think all teams can get got. Like where was this psycho nature when Mike Woodson got y'all? Where was this on the West Coast trip, right?
That's very true. Well,
But
our our psychoness doesn't travel for certain time zones.
Yeah, they didn't let him on the plane. Honestly, planes are the biggest thing that can get in the way of these psychopathic basketball players.
To be honest.
Okay, so give me your official list then. Five top college basketball. Don't mess with that guy, guys. Cooper Flag one.
Cooper Flag 1,
It's crazy to be
Jigathon
Trey Holloman's two.
Jigathon 2,
That's
uh
crazy.
Fears 3, uh Cohen Carr 4, uh Sadi Washington 5,
Why is Fears three?
because he's a psycho.
He's the second biggest psycho on this team? For real?
Who would you say is the second?
I don't know, but I wouldn't have said Fears, I don't think. But maybe
Jace?
I'm missing it. I don't know. Like I feel like Akins and Jace scare me more as psychopaths than Fears.
Yeah, also part of our psychoticness is interchangeable. Like the top remains the same as Jig, and then the rest of the psychos fall in line.
So the top second spot is Jig, third spot is every other Michigan State player.
They're disciples of Jig.
Fourth is Dylan Cardwell, and then fifth is every Auburn player.
Yeah, but Dylan Carwell wants to be a pastor.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, we don't have to have the answer right now, but
Haiti Johnson's on this list.
he's he's somewhere on the list too.
Yeah.